Perfect. Okay, so morning. As per usual, so happy to see you guys. Someone asked me this week, it was a good question. They asked me if I ever get tired of hosting Texas Power Up. And I thought, gosh, do you get tired lead generating? Like, does that ever happen? And of course, like the answer is yes, I'm sure you get tired of lead generating, but every time you do it, what happens? You feel great that you did it. It was worth it that you lead generated. Everything in life is like that, you guys, right? So I think it's normal to feel like that. I think it's absolutely normal to feel like some things aren't as exciting as day one. Any of you all that are married, right? You know, it's not the dating scene, but it's so worth it. So the foundational things in our lives matter. Like, that's what I want to get across. This is foundational. Lead gen is foundational. Working on your marriage, foundational, right? So there's something that I read that I want to pop open to you and show you. I'm going to share my screen really quick. I read this and I want to read it to you guys. It says, surround yourself with relentless humans, people who plan in decades, but live in moments. They train like savages, but create like artists. They obsess in work and relax in life. People who know this is finite and choose to play infinite games. Find people going up mountains and climb together. And I thought, gosh, man, if that isn't our story, I don't know what is, right? And so I love that whole climb together part, right? Each week we get to climb together, and I am grateful for that. So I'm going to kick off gratitude this morning, that I am grateful for you guys showing up day in, day out, week after week. It's been years now, right? So thank you for that. And gratitude to Fatima, who is the one who shared that awesome that mindset with us. Climb together, right? Life is finite, but play infinite games, right? So who has shout outs or gratitude or wins, either about themselves, their staff, their colleagues, their agents, their friends, that they want to share? Just click that little reaction button at the bottom of your screen and click raise your hand, and we will share with you. Brandon, I saw your hand first. Good morning, San Antonio.
What's up? I didn't know we were shouting out ourselves, so this first one goes out to me. No, I'm joking. No, I'm grateful for Matt. So he's our operations coordinator. So we brought on our first Brivity VA this week, who had some experience on him too. So it's awesome to watch Matt, get him integrated into our systems, and we're already starting to see some changes. That's how fast it could happen when you get the right people. So very grateful for that.
Love it. Congrats, Matt. Congrats, new San Antonio VA. I love it.
Sai. Our new VA is named Sai.
Sai, what's up, Sai? That's awesome. Love it. Daniel Weiser, good morning, Austin.
Good morning. Yeah, I just wanted to share gratitude for BKT leadership team, just for their grit and collaboration in leveling up our businesses, just showing up every day as leaders, and just so grateful for what they contribute.
All the grit and the collaboration. Lots of grit though, right? Absolutely. Love that, Daniel. Casey, good morning, Austin.
Yeah, what's up? I've got a couple of gratitudes here. I'm grateful for Joseph Madrid really leveling up. We've been talking a lot about like closing and just like asking for business and driving forward. And dude is like taking business left and right. He's converting. And so I'm just loving that. He and Colton, who you've heard about, they recently took a listing here in Austin, over $800,000, really great listing in a market where people aren't taking listings, right? So really, really excited for that. And then I also want to shout out our folks who are doing the Bold 6,000. It comes to an end this week. And so just grateful for them. I see they have a little Slack channel and they're like just blowing it up. They're really working hard to end well. So grateful for them stretching what is normal.
Love it, man. All these people stretching themselves in this new market. I love that. Good shout outs. Allie, good morning, DFW.
Good morning. So I've got a few shout outs. First, I want to start with shouting out Sally on our team. She just constantly, she's a light every week for me. We get to coach together. And every time I coach with her, it's almost like she's coaching me, and she technically is. And so I just enjoy conversations with her, and she's an incredible human being and agent. And then I want to shout out Jen Velarde, because she is one of the strongest people I know, and her business has literally, she was doing great last year, and this year she's just doing incredible, and she keeps showing up for herself despite, whatever life throws at her, and she doesn't often realize what an inspiration that she is to other people. And then I want to shout out Sarissa, because, and I shouted her out in our shout out channel on Slack, but Sarissa on Monday led the most fun ever script practice that I've been a part of. And it was just a great example of what we should be doing every single day. And it was awesome how she shows up for us. So yay.
You know what I love? I don't know if you guys watch people's faces when they get shouted out. Like, it's instant, you guys. Like, that smile happens. It's like, gratitude is so important. I'm so grateful that you are sharing those with us, because it is just so impactful. I love that. I love that. Sarissa, I'll go to you, because I feel like you might be backing up something there, or not. Yes.
I just want to shout out Allie, who for the past several days has texted me at like 5:30 in the morning with her at the gym, with her relentless sign in the back, and just the positive role model she is in creating new habits and in showing up with high performance habits. And she's leading us so well by her own example. So thank you for that, Allie.
Love that. 5:30 in the morning. You guys are amazing. Love that. Jen Smith. Good morning.
Good morning, Adelina. So I want to shout out a couple agents on our team. Kayla Moore has taken her business, and it took her a little bit of time, but she is off the ground now, and she is really starting to fly, and she's coming into her own. And just when she comes into the office, the confidence now that you can see on her is contagious. It's really great energy to be around. And then I might get a little emotional. My showing partner, Chelsea Angelotti, just for her grit and I'm just so grateful to be in business with her. She took her first listing last night, and
Wow.
who she is and how she shows up and her follow-up and her follow-through just inspires me to keep growing and being better, so that she has something to grow into. So I'm just grateful for our entire team, but those two lately have just been off the charts.
I love that. That's awesome. Those are such good shares. Man, you guys are killing it over there. As humans first, and then as business owners. I love that so much. I love that. Miss Tracy, going to you in Houston.
Hey, good morning. Sorry I cannot be on camera this morning, but I'm listening in intently. I wanted to just shout out to two things. My team, they have been doing such a great job. I have a lot of new people, and they are overwhelmed and still sticking it out and learning and exhibiting grit. I've got a couple of people who are still having to work, full time, and they're transitioning, and they're still showing up. So I'm so proud of them. But also Helen has been on my team since last fall. She's done a great job. And she has moved to Oklahoma and gotten her license there too. So she is, she's in the process. She's got a test, but she's taken all the classes. So she has got her license here in Texas, and she's got her license in Oklahoma. She's planning on eventually coming back, and she's pregnant, and she's also going to taking some college courses at the same time. So talk about grit. It's insane. Yeah.
Wow. God, there's so much going on in all of our lives. That's what I'm reminded of, Tracy. I love those shout outs. Thank you for sharing. I had no idea we had so many shout outs this morning. You guys it's almost Thanksgiving. So I don't know. We got to get through Halloween first, but I guess Thanksgiving coming right up. We're just getting ready for all the gratitude. You guys are super, super awesome. I'm grateful that last week, Dana, she brought up some good stuff. She brought up productivity rhythms and productivity cadences. And you're going to be like, wait, what in the world are we talking about? And productivity rhythms and productivity cadences are like routines that we put in our business so that we have a sustainable long-term business. Instead of winning once and having one good year, we have an entire great career. And call night coming up is next week, which is next Thursday, I think the 20th. I thought, gosh, let's go back to this and just think about why we do call nights and what the purpose is and what the value of them is, because it's so easy to just fall out of rhythm, right? It's Ben always says, it's not that you stop working out, it's the first cookie that you have, right? That like, you're like, you know, and it's like, then it's like it's a snowball effect the other way, right? Momentum has positive momentum and negative momentum. So, doing routine things that have brought us success in the past, year after year, like those things are important. So I could tell you the benefits of all of that, but I thought, man, I'm going to bring a few people onto this call so that we could hear their success stories real quick with the opportunity that call nights present. So I'm just going to spotlight a few people, and I just want to tell you, like, it's some of their first time, so y'all be nice. But I say that because they haven't been doing this forever, and you'll find out here in a second. I'm going to spotlight my 3 people real quick, and then we're going to go through this, and it's going to be it's not that long, I promise. Okay, let me grab my last one. Here we go. Look at these good looking people. Okay, so I've got the following people: Alyssa in Austin, Sarah in Austin, Daniel in San Antonio. And I'm going to go to Alyssa first. I want to know how long you've been doing this, Alyssa, and what did you do before real estate?
Yeah, so I have been with the Ben Kinney team for 9 months now, since February. And then before that, for 1 year, I worked at a brokerage, kind of like as like a buyer's agent and admin, where I really learned like the ins and outs of like the paperwork and showing. But before that, so I've only been in Texas for 2 years, but before that, I ran a chamber of commerce in Chicago for 5 years, and that was really fun. But just always really interested in real estate and wanted to get in, and just so glad I did.
I love that. I love that. So you moved a lead forward during a call night. So kind of like, what was the source, the original source of that? Like, what was kind of the story on it?
So it was a CP person that I was just CPing around a neighborhood. And it was actually one of those conversations that we've all had, that someone's like, no, I don't have any real estate needs. But I followed that up with like, do you know anyone that has any real estate needs? And she was like, yes, actually my mom. So she connected me with her mom by just giving me her mom's information. And then the following day, I set an appointment with the mom. Casey and I went out. She signed with us, and it was like a super fast situation. Yeah. And so it was just like very important to ask that follow-up question. Okay, you don't have real estate needs. Who do you know that does?
Okay, so first of all, you were circle prospecting, which
Yes.
many people, after their first like 90 days in launch, they want to stop circle prospecting because, oh my gosh, like I'm so glad I get to graduate out of circle prospecting, right? But you were circle prospecting, and then you actually use the script, which is like, you know, we say these scripts and we're like, are they ever going to work? And then it did. Somebody did have real estate needs, which was the mama. And so did you set an appointment with her? Like, what ended up happening, like long term?
Long term, she actually became a referral because or I referred her out because she was actually like closer to the Waco area. And so, but we just had like a really great connection, and Casey and the family hit it off. But yeah, it took, I believe, 1 phone call or maybe 2 to set the appointment. And then going out there and meeting her, touring the home, and then coming back and then just continuously following up, just because she was doing some work on the house, and then realizing that she would probably best be served by someone within that community, and then just referring it out. But just super fast and yeah, smooth.
I love that. Who do you usually call at call night? I just want to end with that. Like,
Yeah,
so
I usually
you're going to do a call night next week. Like, who are you going to call? Like, what is that going to look like for you?
Yeah, I usually take the opportunity to CP neighborhoods or around my listings or, open houses or something like that.
Got it. And like, what would you say? Like, if you were like calling, like, what is your circle prospecting script sound like? Like,
So I kind of switch it up, but obviously I use the one that we all do, like a house just went live in your neighborhood, and we know statistically 2 to 3 houses will come up after that. We just want to make sure that those people are in the right hands. Have you thought about taking advantage of the last of the seller's market or something like that? And then following it up with like, okay, well, that's great. Like, do you have would it be helpful if I put you on a market report? Or, do you know anyone that's, has any real estate needs? We'd love to help them. Kind of, I switch it up, but it's mostly just, saying that.
I love that. 9 months into business, Alyssa, with us, with our team. Congrats. Love to hear your success stories. You go, girl.
Thanks.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And you might have like a dentist appointment, so you feel free to jump off whenever you need to.
Thanks, guys.
All the fun.
Public service announcement, get the night guard. I know it's expensive. It's worth it.
So true.
Crack my
so
tooth
true.
before built how. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Alyssa. Sarah, I'm going to you. How long have you been in the business now, and what did you do before this?
I have been in the business since May 10th, so I guess this is my 5th month.
Okay.
And before that, I was a full-time DJ, and I produce electronic music, so that's what I was doing full-time.
I love that. We have so much diversity here. You moved a lead forward during call night this year, which is really great. Kind of walk us through kind of what happened with that. What was the source of the business, and kind of how did it happen?
So actually, I found them during call night, but I made an appointment that night, that evening, and then they canceled on me, and then I rescheduled it.
Ah, all right. So, were they like an expired? Were they circle prospecting? What were they?
They were expired.
They were expired. So you were just calling expired at call night.
Yep.
Instead of calling them in the morning, you were calling them in the evening.
Right.
What a concept. I love that. I love that. So you hadn't talked to them before. This was like your first call. You set the appointment. They ended up canceling and you got it back. And
Right.
then you are now listing their property, and it's at $599.
Yes, it's a 10-acre horse ranch out
There
in
you go.
Granger Bartlett.
There you go. We will sell anything, right? Who do you usually call at call night? Like next week when you call, because you're one of the top people that always shows up. And for everybody else, like you've got like a 1-year-old son, right? Is he 1 or is he 2 now? I don't know.
He's almost 1. He'll be
Okay,
1
never mind.
November
He's
5th.
1. He's just a big baby. He could be 2. He's just a big one.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like you have nothing else going on and you're just like, oh my God, of course I'm just gonna show up to call night because I have nothing else going on. You have a full life. So when you show up to call night next week, who are you gonna be calling? What does that look like for you? Like,
So next week I will definitely, anybody that hopefully I meet some awesome people this weekend at an open house, but I've met some cool people these past weekends that I feel like are pretty important, pretty hot. I'm gonna just, really go through my brevity and, like just anybody that I think that I can make an appointment with. And I'm gonna try to set as many appointments as possible.
I love that. Congrats. 5 months in the business, going on 5 years in the business. I love that. Great job, Sarah. Daniel, I am going down to you, sir. Good morning. Good morning. San Antonio. Tell us about you, how long you've been in the business. And I know you were in the business before BKT, so you can talk about both.
Yeah, so I got my license in 2018. I was with another brokerage, and then I joined the team during 2020.
I love that. I love that.
And before that, I was I was a mechanic.
Look at that. Oh my gosh. Got Chamber of Commerce. We got a DJ. We got a mechanic. Whoever you are, wherever you came from, this is awesome. Okay, so you moved a lead forward during a call night this year. Tell us kind of the story.
Yeah, so I did an open house the weekend before.
Okay.
I had my client come in. She had mentioned that she lived in the neighborhood, but she didn't want to give me her address. She was kind of standoffish. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I did get her information, so I set her up on the market report, and I tried reaching out the following Monday, no answer. So it was kind of like that. Call night came around. I was like, well, I'm gonna call my open house leads. So I called, and yeah, she answered, and so we set an appointment. I was able to go see her house, and we sold it pretty quickly as well.
Okay. So she wasn't responding during the morning times. You called during an evening call night. You did set the appointment. Then you actually listed the property, and then the
Yes.
property sold.
Yes, real quick. It was we had 25 offers on the house. It was during the time that the market was really crazy. Yes,
Okay.
that was pretty
Okay.
insane.
So when you guys do call night, like your next call night, who will you be calling, Daniel? Like, who do you usually like to call? What's your strategy around that? Because you've been around a few years. You're like a
Yes.
pro at this now.
So typically I like to call expireds first, just because if they don't answer in the morning, I might get them at night. So I like to call expireds, and then anybody that I haven't communicated with in Brevity.
I love that. I love that. You guys are all people who just do the productivity rhythms, and you show up, number one, for yourselves, right? Because like, number one, you got to show up for yourself, right? Ben always says, nobody can do the push-ups for you. You got to do the push-ups yourself, right? And so I love that you shared these stories, because sometimes we just need to be reminded of what works. So Sarah and Daniel, and also Alyssa, who had to go, thank you for this morning. I'm gonna remove your spotlights and just, I don't know how to remove yours, Sarah, because you just happen to be first on my list. Hold on, I'm gonna remove yours. I'll figure it out right now. So I wanted to share all that with you guys because I bet there are other success stories within our group. And here's what I would say overall. Like the value of call night itself, as it comes up like next week, or whenever you host yours, is just designating that once a month opportunity to connect with leads after hours. Like that's the vision of it, to connect after hours, right? Because you get a hold of a whole new group of people. And if you haven't been doing call nights, or maybe haven't attended one recently, October is a great time to re-engage. And the reason for that is people are thinking about like end of year, they're starting to think about 2023. And especially with Halloween being around the corner, like if you do one in your office or on your team, it's a great opportunity to make it fun. I know in Austin, we're doing a costume contest for those people who are into it. Not everybody's into stuff like that, but we got some people who are really into this stuff. So definitely would love to see that. I've got one last success story of an agent that couldn't be on here this morning because it would be like 6 o'clock her time or whatever. But if you want to write down her name and maybe follow her on social media, her name is Margie Eddings, Eddings, Margie Eddings. She partnered with Jacqueline in BKT Vancouver after being in business 9 years, right? So it's not like, she was already a really great experienced agent. She had never called for sell by owners before. So she ends up coming to her first call night with the team, and she called for sell by owners. And so she ended up calling the for sell by owner. It was like actually her second call. She booked the appointment. It turned into a closing for her. And now every single call night and every inventory creation day, she calls for sell by owners. It's her thing. The reason I share that is, number one, I'm going to invite Margie in the future to be on a power up, to teach us how to take for sell by owners, to tell us what she says, how she says it, what happens when she goes to the house, etc. And number two, I want you to think about the fact that it might surprise you what you're capable of if you just make that one call. She had never made a for sell by owner call before, and she found out she was good at them. You don't know what you're good at until you try something. So I wanted to make sure that came across. Sarissa, I saw your hand first, and then Brandon, I see your hand second.
I love that. I love the fact that you're just encouraging us to try new things and giving us success stories there. I remember the very first time I called expireds in bold, I took the very first day, y'all. I just literally read the script and I was reading it while he's talking to me. And I took a $700,000+ listing that way. Ended up getting $1 million cash buyer off that listing, who I'm still friends with like 6 years later. So I just really encourage you guys to get out of your comfort zone and try something new, because the Margies of the world, like, it happens. We just have to do the work. And then secondly, I loved when you were asking the questions of like, what did you say on call night or whatever, and who did you call? Because I think if we every single day started out our day with, who am I going to call today and what am I going to say? Or who am I going to door knock and what am I going to say? Just that intention and that clarity would allow us to have powerful results every day.
I love that 1000%. 1000%. Number one, I love that Sarissa's first expired was not that long ago, right? Like, y'all, you might think that 6 years is a long time. It's not. Man, well, you start getting old and you start realizing 6 years is like, man, that's a short time. It's not a long time. So I love that, like, that wasn't like 20 years ago and that's why Sarissa's good. No, everybody has to start somewhere. Everybody's first day was sometime. Everybody's first call was sometime. Everybody's first sell by owner was first, like, sometime, expired, etc. I love that. Brandon, yes, sir.
I just wanted to piggyback on it doesn't have to be like a big change, or you could just, move one or two things, try something new. A lot of the good things that work are already in our lead gen model, right? Expireds, prospecting, circle prospecting. But that made me want to give a shout out, remember a shout out for Alma on our team. We had been talking about adding expireds to her business plan for a bit now. And she took it by the horns. And I think over from Friday to Monday or Tuesday, she set 5 appointments in 5 days, not all from expireds. But what I've noticed is that her taking that confidence, just 1 or 2 appointments that she pulled out of expireds, she's now jumping in the pond. She set a couple appointments from the pond, a couple from expireds, and she's done a great job in setting appointments at open houses too. And all of those things were just small little pivots. Ask for the appointment more often at the open house. Did that, increased it. And open houses are our 3rd highest source of business now on our team. That came through this summer from people making small changes. She's taking expired listings now. It's only a matter, appointments. It's only a matter of time before she takes those listings. It was just adding that into her schedule and practicing the script. And then the lead pond's been big, and she's jumping in there and, collaborating and converting on opportunities that started 3 years ago in my database that I didn't follow up, but she's doing that work and setting them. But they were just small, minute little details that had to change in the business. And then it steamrolls, right? Someone talked about that earlier, that confidence. You just need a little bit, and then you could bankroll that into all kinds of stuff. So keep that in mind for goal planning this year.
I love that, man. What a great share. And Alma, I love seeing the success of that. I remember Alma's first day. So I think that is just awesome, right? It doesn't have to take forever to build a business, because it is those small adjustments. And if you make those small adjustments, what you're doing every time you make a small adjustment, you're just voting for yourself. You're voting for your success. You're voting for you to be like the person that is capable of making those goals a reality. Love that, love that, love that. I'm going to pivot to something else. I'm going to take us in a different direction real quick. And I'm going to give you, so the Austin Board of Realtors here where I'm at, they released their numbers for the previous month, and they lost 10% of agents in 1 month. 10% of all agents in the Austin Board of Realtors are gone. And this is just the beginning of this harder, more challenging market, challenging in a very different way. Last year, the year before, the challenge was speed, right? It was, does my client have, $100,000 outside of their down payment to make up the appraisal gap? Like, it was hard in a different way. This is a different hard, right? And what they are projecting is losing 40% of all agents this year, 40%. And so if you know the Austin Board of Realtors, they're not like blowing smoke. Like their projections are realistic for what they really think will happen. And so in our market, 40% is 8,000 agents, right? I bet your area will see similar numbers. And so while I want everyone to succeed, right? And I know you're the same way, right? I know that not everyone in your market is in a position to make it through. They're not in a position to make it through, right? They don't have the partnership power of a team. Their environment is not maximizing their success. The support of people around them, right, to help them succeed, they may not have that, right? And so you start like removing the power of partnership, you remove the environment to maximize your success, you remove the support of people around you, right? Like all of a sudden, like you may not make it. So number one, if you come across people that are working hard, like the value of hard work is already there, right? That grit is already there, that need our help. Like I would encourage you, especially in the next few months, because 40% of them are going to be out otherwise, introduce them to your team leader. We can't help everyone, but we can definitely help the motivated, right? So that's all I would be thinking. We can't help everyone because not everybody wants to be helped. Not everybody's willing to work. But man, there are some motivated people that are going to just fail out because they just don't have the right environment, right? So we are just looking to help the motivated. And then of course, as there's, 30, 40% fallout, that does make your job easier, right? And so, there's all we need to do is to make it through. Ben says something, and you guys have heard this a million times. He says, success is survival. Success is survival, right? And we used to say it a lot back in the day. We say it like it's back. It's now back in style, right? So on the topic of helping, I wanted to give you an update on BK Co Mortgage in case you hadn't heard yet. In addition to Jonathan Miller, who we all love and is fantastic, we have two more Texas-based loan officers that are ready to help. I'm going to pop up their information here on the screen for you. Let me grab it really quick so that you can make your notes. So the first one is Miss Ishelle Romero. Some of you may actually know Miss Ishelle. I've known her now for years, 6-7 years. She is really, really good. She is experienced. She is solution oriented. She would love to help you with all of your clients' needs, and especially Spanish speaking loan needs. She is a pro. Brandon, I saw your hand go up.
Yeah, so when I was in Austin, she was my preferred Spanish speaking loan officer. So I just wanted to give her a shout out for any of y'all that haven't worked with her yet. Everything Adelina said is true, and she's amazing. She helped a lot of my clients. A big portion of my business in Austin was primarily only Spanish speaking. She never dropped the ball. She's a super, super, super good person too. She cares a lot and she's very experienced. So I'd reach out to her.
I love that. I love that you said that, because literally like on my notes, I wrote down Ishelle is salt of the earth, because that is who she is. So I want you to feel confident in Ishelle. If you do need a Spanish speaking loan officer that is affiliated with BK Co. So this is her contact information. Feel free to plug it into your phone. She does live in Austin. She's not somewhere else. She's here. She'd love to, obviously, anytime, like, be invited to anything that you guys do. Here's her contact information. And then I want to give a shout out to Miss Yvette, who is on our team. She, like, I know a lot of us knew Ishelle, but Yvette was the one who took initiative to recommend her to Jesse at BK Co. And that's how we got into business with Ishelle. All right, I'm gonna go to the next one. There's one more for us this morning. The next one is Miss Christine Engler. I've known Miss Christine for many years. She is, her kids go to school with my kids at Acton. Christine is a very polished. That's one of the things that will make her somebody that you would enjoy working with. She's highly, highly experienced, like decades now And she's very motivated. She is just a great, great loan officer for you to have in your back pocket as you're saving her contact information. She's a mom of teenagers. She does live in Austin. She'd love to be involved in anything that you guys are doing anywhere in your locations. She'll drive up, she'll connect with you guys, et cetera, et cetera. Both of these ladies, the reason I wanted to introduce them to you, are highly experienced, like not brand new to real estate, not brand new to lending, have decades of experience. And they are very high touch with clients. And their client service will always be 5-star. So I wanted to make sure that you guys knew the people that are here to support you as the market changes, right? So as we wrap up, tomorrow we have Ben and Chris. I know you guys have probably heard it a million times from your team leaders. Just in case, I will be the extra little vote of confidence. They will be on from 10 to 12 tomorrow, so 2 hours instead of 1 hour. I would encourage you to be on video. They'll be going over 2023 business planning to prepare our mindset as we start to plan 2023. So we're just going to wrap up early this morning, and so you can get on the phones and or door knock or follow up and just get your contacts and nurtures and appointments in for this week, so that tomorrow when Ben and Chris are on, like you're able to be fully present in the moment for those 2 hours and not worry about like, oh, I've got to lead generate. So we will see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Bye guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, Adelina.